Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for part 3 of the Monday Q&A, so let's do it. First question. At what point does low intensity cardio become high intensity and start to encroach upon strength training? Now this is an answer one of the subscribers gave underneath, and they basically hit the nail on the head. I assume that it's the closer that it gets to anaerobic HR, it's its heart rate levels. It's certainly one of those scale situations, it's no black and white. And he's right. In fact, there's a large margin between low and high intensity. There's medium intensity. And in general, it's a sliding scale. There's a wide scale of intensity of cardio. And generally, the more intense it gets, the more potential it will have to impede your recovery to your resistance training and cut down the frequency at which you can resistance train and be potentially harmful. Whereas in the really low intensity, so if you can do a type of cardio for an hour straight or more, that is very low intensity. That's low enough that it should not significantly or at all hurt your recovery from resistance training. And it's fine to do very, very large volumes of that. Just be aware that it's going to burn through calories, and if calories aren't sufficient, it could interfere with your recovery. But going and spending 2 hours on your bike in a separate session from your resistance training, if you're capable of maintaining that pace for 2 hours straight, it's probably going to be fine. But when you start getting to cardio that you can only sustain for 30 or 45 minutes, that's when you've got the potential to impede recovery, but even that's not guaranteed. And then obviously things like HIIT style cardio, which you can't sustain for more than about 20 minutes, maybe 25. And anyone who's doing it longer, they're not doing HIIT, they're doing medium intensity, because they wouldn't be able to sustain it for longer than that if they were actually doing high intensity cardio. The intensity level's not high enough. They're doing medium intensity cardio for their level of tolerance. But yeah, when you start doing HIIT type cardio and high intensity cardio, obviously it's going to tremendously impact your recovery. You basically just used up a weightlifting session. So it's really a sliding scale, and it varies a bit even within the range. So think of it as a scale, not distinct black and white though. It doesn't work that way. All right, next question. Is the rear delt barbell row a good exercise? Is there any other rear delt exercise with a barbell? P.S. I only have a barbell. Well, I'm not going to take what you said literally. I'm going to make some extrapolations here. I'm going to assume you have more than a barbell. I'm going to assume you have some plates. I don't use my dumbbells for my rear delts. I use bands and I use plates because it's just easy for me to grab a pair of plates to do rear delt flies. If you want to do rear delt stuff, grab a little pair of your light plates. Believe it or not, I go as light as 5 kilos per hand when doing rear delt flies. And odds are I'm probably bigger than you. I may not be, I could be wrong. But statistically speaking, odds are I'm bigger than you, and if I can use 5 kilo dumbbells for my, or plates, just 5 kilo plate in each hand for my rear delt, odds are you're not going to need to go any heavier than that either. So just grab some of your light plates, even grab a stack of them if you need to. I sometimes grab a pair of 2.5 kilos just together because they're in the stack and just use those. The rear delt row is okay. I just think that really something like the rear delt, I think the rear delt fly or a face pull just happens to hit it better. There's nothing wrong with the rear delt row if that's all you have, but I'm going to assume you've got plates to go on that bar, so you can just hold the plates in each hand to do them. Or even invest in some cheap bands and start doing band face pulls. Alright, next question. Jason, can you build endurance if you have had asthma, and how it's just a little activated when I run long for me distances? What I'm asking is, can I build up my endurance despite my condition? Yeah, absolutely. You can build your endurance despite your condition, but you need to be aware that obviously if you have an asthma attack at any given point, you'll have no endurance or performance in the middle of that attack and maybe afterwards. But the actual endurance and actually having better cardiovascular conditioning in the long term may help you with your asthma because your body uses oxygen more efficiently. And when you have an asthma attack, you are being deprived of oxygen due to that inflammation response in your respiratory system. So having a body that utilizes oxygen more efficiently will come in real handy when you can't get any air. Not only can you do it, you absolutely should do it. Alright guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. Hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time in part 4.